Yo dudes, what's up? This is PlanetKeef, I'm Keef, and today it's episode 31 of the weekly vlog thing. Yay! Monday, I know I'm trying to keep off politics, but oh my goodness, what a week! First of all, we had the Cop26 climate change conference going on in Glasgow. That was always going to be a disaster because, you know, basically this British government doesn't give a toss about climate change, probably doesn't believe in it. Certainly PM Bozo hasn't got a clue. No leadership, basically. And also this government's sleaziness has come to the fore with, you know, revelations about MPs with second jobs, attempts by the Prime Minister to abolish the body that scrutinises politicians and to replace it by a body that is, you know, basically made up of mostly Conservative MPs and basically to take his power away. And, you know, these bodies exist for exactly this reason, to stop unhinged people like PM Bozo from grabbing the power. And if we're not careful, he'll get away with it. Our democracy will be destroyed. And la-li-la-li-la, we're stuffed. Happy days. Tuesday. Ooh, hang on. You know, I've been trying to flog these mugs because, well, I know lots of people want them. Well, I know exactly how many people wanted them enough to buy them, and it's in double figures. So, but I mean, you know, that's just among the converted. So what I need to do is reach a bigger audience, and I thought I'd give it a go with Facebook advertising. They were offering a €5 credit, so I thought, okay, I'll have that. But also you've got to spend some actual real money. Won't go into figures because they're embarrassing. I did make slightly more in revenue than what I will be billed by Facebook, so it wasn't a complete waste of time. I'm going to try it again. That was with a purely UK audience. I'm going to try it again next weekend with an American audience and see if we get any more response from that. You never know. Wednesday afternoon, the internet went down, and I saw down the end of the street we have a telegraph pole. They still use, you know, cables stretched between telegraph poles and houses for the internet and landline telephones. I know that our internet comes from that pole, so I watch it like a hawk. And when there's an engineer up it, I know there's potential for our cable, or anybody's cable, to get unplugged. And that's exactly what happened. There's a new couple moved in down the road. He was installing their internet. Spoke to his assistant and said, look, something's gone wrong with our internet, and I think, you know, it's to do with up the pole, so please have a word with Mr. Engineer. Lo and behold, 5:30, knock on the door, the engineer, and he's like, I understand your internet's been down. I said, yeah, still is. And he says, might not be. Let's have a look at your router. And just at that point, the red light that says not working turned blue. That means I'm working. So he has plugged it in and fixed it, and without any of the palaver of you know, waiting days and days to get an engineer to come out, because he's already out. So he'd probably get told off for doing that by his employers, but he gets a big pat on the back from me because that was heroic. Thursday, I mentioned this Channel 4 woodworking programme before that I can't remember the name of. I really want to like the programme, but I find it almost impossible. The judges, one of them is very unpleasant, the other one's getting better. And there's a YouTube in it, Average Joe Joinery from Wolverhampton, and he actually got sent home this week, which was a shame. It was a touch and go decision. I don't think his effort was as bad as one or two of the others, but, well, you know, I'm not the judge. However, what what I really don't like about the program is the waste. In this challenge, they had to make a sculpture of an animal, and they had the option of all kinds of material, including half trees, entire half trees. Okay, that's not proper grammar, but whole half trees. And chainsaws, and one of them tried to make a lion, carve a lion. It's a whole load of oak wasted, basically, and all of the things that they've done. The first episode, the massive make a bed, it's a huge amount of material, but also it's a huge amount of work, and they only get 2 days to do something spectacular. So you are not going to get real craftsmanship when you're trying to make something that big in such a small amount of time. It drives me nuts. I don't know if we will continue watching, because there's only 2 more episodes, I think. But I do think that there is a market for a woodworking show, but you just have to get the format right and get the judges and presenters right. And also get your expectations right and make it possible for people to do well. Anyway, Friday, a truly, truly momentous occasion over the last 6 months, maybe. There's been an accumulation of green stuff, which is probably mould or some kind of fungus, around the edge of the roof. There's a little gutter, so that's perfect for growing moss. And also on some of the window ledges. I washed it off myself. God. I wouldn't say I washed the car. I washed all the green stuff off and then chucked the bucket of water over the car, and then it rained. So it looks a lot better than it used to. On Saturday, I attended to something that I'd been meaning to do all week, which is hang up the clock in the kitchen. Now, the reason it needed hanging up was last weekend, the clocks went back. So that was the end of British summertime, and we're plunged into darkness at 3:30 in the afternoon now, which I absolutely hate. And I can't understand why we still persist in doing this time change nonsense. It's just rubbish. Anyway, so that clock is a clockwork clock, and it has to be changed by hand. I know, very old-fashioned. So Mrs. Planet had done it last weekend, but she hadn't managed to get the clock back up on the hook. It's not an easy thing to do, so she'd just left it, and then I kept meaning to put it up, and also at the same time I'm like, I'm not going to put it up until it looks better. This clock actually came with the house, and it's a cheap, nasty, lime green plastic thing that I've always hated. And also I've always hated the position that it hangs in, because you have to sort of crane your neck to see it, but we got used to it. I decided to paint it, and so I probably spent, most evenings this week doing something to it, and then deciding that I don't want that and painting over it. Anyway, finally got something that I quite like. And then I thought this would be a lot easier to hang up if you weren't trying to position it over a hook on the wall that you cannot see because the clock's in the way. So I designed this thing that basically has a little button on it that you can fit into the recess in the back of the clock, and then it's on a webbing strap, and so it can hang down from wherever you put it and be very easy to remove twice a year to change the time or the battery. I'm quite pleased with it, but I've put it in a different position, so now every time I want to know what the time is, I look at the old position and then have a think, and then remember that it's actually right here beside me. I'll get used to it eventually. Anyway, that was my week. Hope you enjoyed hearing about it, and well, see you next time. Bye.